Frenchie, just stop flirting with it and take it already. All right, fine, you want this? Oh my God, I've created a snob.
She wants nothing.
I'm done with her. Hey friends. Hey friends. It's late and I'm not gonna do the video that I originally planned to do because I just don't want to anymore. And I'm gonna partially blame it on Josh because he got home really late from skating. But he did bring me delicious Indian food, so that helps. I was gonna try to do the video where Josh sets up the cages. I had spent all day doing laundry, you know, putting fresh linens in everyone's cage, restocking everything, and organizing the room. And now it's like, what time is it? It's 9 o'clock. I'm old, tired. And I don't want him to take apart my cages that I just worked so hard on all day because no offense, Josh, I'm probably not gonna like it as much as the way I just did it. So I'm just gonna give some tips on like cage setups and things that work for me that might work for you. Just like little things along the way that I've learned that just make things just a little bit easier, or things that I just find that they like a little bit more. And if you have any tips that you guys wanna give, I'm always all ears because I love to hear tips, tricks, all the shebangs. I'm gonna try to not act really tired in this video, so I'm gonna hold my eyes open like this the whole time. So I'm gonna start going clockwise around the room, starting with Moira and Johnny, with just little things that I do that help me out for their style of cage. So if you have a loft style cage like I do, and it is on the ground or it's like hard to get back there, they always of course like to like poop in the hardest to reach spots. So what I do is I take these plush mats that I get, Target has like a lot actually right now that are really good prices and sizes. What I do is, I don't know if Josh can show you, I'm gonna take out my pig room tunnel, which of course Johnny was in because she's obsessed with it. Thank you, at the pig room. So if you can see back there, you see how I have the rug sort of flipped up on the, hi girls, flipped up on the back of the corrugated plastic, and that's because it's really hard to just reach back there. But what I can do when they're not on it is just pull the rug out this way. There, yeah, girls, you want to show him? Well, either way, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to force her to move, but I can pull the rug out, and that way I can just bring the poop to me, dump it, and then put it back instead of having to try to reach back there and grab all the poops in the far corner. Sorry, girls, I'll give you your house back. Let's give them their house back. That was enough, right? Here you go, baby. So these bath mats come in handy in like so many ways, but in particular for me with this cage, especially like theirs as well because it's shaped the exact same, and so is Frenchie's. These hard to reach corners, when I put them up on the back of the plastic like that, it just makes it so much easier than having to like reach my hand really far in there. I use these mats for like so many other reasons, but that's just one of the reasons why I really like having these around. I have a feeling I'm about to spend a lot more money on them because they just make my life so easy. I have another one right here, and that's also because this happens to be an area where Johnny and Moira really like to lounge, and so there's just a lot of poop, and it's just really nice to just be able to take the rug up, you know, fold it up, dump it in my like discard bucket, and then just lay it back down. It saves me so much time. Like my cleanup time now that I've had these mats has been cut by like at least 45 minutes. It's pretty awesome. Next, we're moving on to pillowcases, which seems really random, I know, and hand towels, because I just always have a lot of extra pillowcases and hand towels. I don't honestly know why, but I just have a lot of them, but I find them very useful in the pig room. For instance, on my second level, I don't have tops. I don't have tops on this one at all. So they're very exposed up here, and I do have a hay eating area up here, so I want them to feel comfortable to come up here and eat. So what I do is I just take these, you know, paper clip type things, and I clip it one to one side, take my old, this is like probably a pillowcase that came with like a king set because it's longer, and then I just clip it on the other side, and it serves as like a hidey. You know, it's like one of these triangular like corner car washers, but not, but like it is, like it's not. You get what I'm saying? And they love it. And it gives them privacy. They're not up here. I'm talking like they're up here, but they're down there. But look, see, Johnny is over here in this little corner. She likes to hang out there.
I see 1 foot.
So that's why we have that mat there, so I can just dump it and I don't have to sit there and play with poop all day long. And again, the same thing with the hand towels. I'll use it as like a drape over. This area doesn't really need it, but I just like to have it here, and I just kind of like to put this right up next to it just because it just makes me feel better to know that it's just one more thing blocking them from the cords. Yeah, safety first. All right, so moving on to Gigi and Frenchie's cage. I know I have talked about these like grass mats before because I've gotten them in hauls. So I'm gonna show you just like how I set them up in their cage. I use little zip ties like this. Just little bitty ones. Oh, dropped it. For them, you know, I don't want to do it near a water bottle because I'm not going to try to put an activity near where someone can block someone from getting water. This is their door that comes off for free roam, so I'm not going to put it there. So this spot, for the way their cage is set up right now, seems like the best place. It would make the most sense because there's like access points from different areas where Gigi can hide and still feel like safe enough to munch on it. So I'm going to put it here. Ta-da. Just like that. And now they have something to keep them occupied. Also for their cage, I have a guinea dad liner in it. I don't always have a guinea dad liner in their cage. I just switch their cages around all the time. Pretty much once a week when I do like the full cage clean, I'll change it around. Today, they have a guinea dad liner in here, and I like to do the double tunnel system, mainly because, well, for two reasons. You can kind of see like where Frenchie is right now. If I was to only have one tunnel in, it still encourages them to walk on the back side of it where someone is usually laying. So if I do the two tunnels, it for some reason like makes them not want to walk on this back part as much and explore back there. That's what I want. I don't want them back there. They can fit also in the middle, so it's kind of like a three-way in, which just more access tunnels for them, the better. And that way one can lay on each side. It just works. Right, French? Show them how it works. Well, she'll show you how the mat works now that it's in there. So this is what we're talking about. I mean, I could probably just move it from one spot to the other and it like all of a sudden becomes like a new mat that's exciting again. It's like if it sits in one spot for too long, it gets boring. And so you just move it like 5 paces over and they're like, ooh, this is cool. And you're like, it's the same mat. It's just a different spot. Last for this cage, I have talked about with like hay and sort of like my attempt at trying to like preserve hay more, because I kind of just would throw it in these litter boxes, kind of like how I have it in Johnny and Moira's, where it's just the litter box with no hay rack in it. So what I've been trying to do is, instead of just having the litter box with hay in it, I get these hay racks, stuff those with hay, and then just string a little bit of hay just around the outside, just to, because you know, they really do like to nest in it a little bit, and they'll pull it out just to nest in it anyway. So I just put a little bit there and they'll just nest here and then like feed out of here instead of just laying directly on top of the hay with no rack. I have found out of all the racks that I've bought, and I've bought a lot of different styles, these are my favorite ones. I find that I waste less hay, they pull out less hay to just like sit on it in soil. They really like munching from the actual rack itself, which is sort of what we're trying to encourage here, is to not pull it all out and just lay on it, because then they won't eat the hay that they've just like soiled on. These are the hay racks that I got from LA Guinea Pigs from Saskia. Oh my God, watch Gigi. This is why I put the tunnels right next to the mats, because Gigi needs to have like her safety net, but also wants to join in on the fun, but like always safety first.
Can you believe her in the maze video?
Oh my God, I know. So yeah, this is why it's like you really have to set your cages up as to like who your guinea pigs are. So like if this was Figgy and Olive's cage, like I can put their mat anywhere and it's not gonna matter. They don't need a Heidi to feel safe to do it, because like they just don't care. Like Figgy a lot of times just lays out in the open, not even underneath a tunnel or a Heidi of any kind. Gigi like needs to have one near her at all times. That's why the maze video was so shocking, that she just like blew right through the maze. I was like, who are you? What is happening? I could just watch her all day. French fry. That was so aggressive and unnecessary. You could have chewed from the other corner, just saying. Like, just saying. Oh, hi, sir. Oh, no, bye, sir. I went in too high. On to Figgy and Olive's cage. So for they like this little car washer area. They do not like when I put like a actual bed underneath of it for whatever reason. I think it's like, I don't know if it's like too jumbly for them. I mean, also Figgy just kind of likes to lay just right on the fleece. He's not much of like a bed guy. So I put these liners, like the one I got from Cute Critter Shop, like this. And Josh, you're gonna have to get me the bucket. All right, so I just dumped the poop. I take my little brush and just brush off the little poo crumbs. There's always like little crumbs. And then I just put it back. Figgy doesn't like houses actually under the car washer. So I take my little tunnel house from the pig room shop, and instead of I put it just like right at the edge of the car washer, and I lift these ones up. So it's just like an entrance into the car washer, but it's not like actually too crowded in there. And they like it like that. They'll use it if it's like that. But if there's like a bundled up blanket or a bed in there, they won't go in there. So that's what works for them. If you find that you have a pig that really just likes to lay flat out, maybe try that. All right, now we're at David, Alexis, and Bebe. You can see for their cage, I have mostly all of these bath mats because like I've said, and I'll say it 100 times, it makes things so easy. And I have not yet learned how to make liners, but I have finally gotten all the materials, and Josh's mom is gonna teach me next week. So you will see a lot of liners eventually in my future. Oh my gracious. Sorry, this is the time of night where they're supposed to be getting veggies, so they're like itching. This is again where I use pillowcases for a lot of things with these little clips and things that aren't actually meant for guinea pigs, like this old little stool that I used to use in here just to like for me to sit on, but then they would go under it all the time. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna use it as like a hidey, and they love it. So like for here, you can see this is like a popular little area because there's lots of poops, which means there's lots of hanging out that goes on in here. So these guys do like a plushy bed. So I have just like a little cuddle cup here, and then I add my stool. I just kind of put it over here, and then I drape these pillowcases right over it, and it just gives them this little zen den. And I do this so it comes over this little tunnel here, and it sort of connects everything into one little, little cubby. They love it. And a lot of times all three of them will be under there together. I just hit the mic, my bad. Again, same thing with the hay rack back there, and I just string hay around on the outside so that they can nest in it while they eat. It's great because they mostly soil and pee in that area more than anywhere else. So really it's just poop that's happening all out here mostly, and a lot of the pee is happening in that area. I mean, don't get me wrong, they obviously pee out here, but the most soiled areas are in their litter boxes. All right, so now we're at Hippie and MJ's cage, and the spot that I'm gonna talk about is where MJ is. So she's demonstrating quite well right now. So these two like to burrow under blankets. They're my only two that like to help encourage that burrow system for them. I have a tunnel, one that I got from the Cute Critter Shop, and I drape a like fleece blanket over top of it. So I'm gonna pull it up and you're gonna see MJ. She's gonna run, but I'll show you. She's right here. And so this tunnel has like an area for them to, hi sweetie. Oh, there she goes. So this is the system I'm talking about, where we have the tunnel, and then I just drape this blanket over top, and it makes it so that they can get under here and create a little sleep sack for themselves. They love it. They're my only two that like to do stuff like that. I mean, for a skinny, it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, for guinea pigs in general, I mean, they do like to nestle under stuff. But out of the 13 that how many pets do I have? I have 13 total. I have 11 guinea pigs. I don't know what I'm talking about. Tired. These guys, they just love it. They love to burrow. Because they like to come over here and nestle and burrow and sort of kind of like hibernate out, I have liners underneath the tunnel, just because this area will get soiled more because they will just like nest and camp out there. So I just keep liners in this area so that I can just take the liners out, put new ones in, and this area can stay dry. I'm like losing the words that I want to say because I'm so tired. Now I'm gonna show you the things that I do in my free roam space, and then we are done. I'm gonna go to sleep. Okay, so my free room, I kind of take some of the same methods that I use in my cages and I recreate them out here. Cause again, like I don't have Guinea dad liners in all my cages at all times. So for the pigs that don't have it in their cage, I'll have this little system out in the free roam space because a lot of them do like it. I'll take my hand towel that I like to use for a lot of different reasons and I'll put it over top. So I'll have the towel to add more like cave feel to it, a little bit darker, a little bit more private. Also, this is where I use my big litter box. This is a cat litter box. Someone gave it to me and I think they got it off of Chewy. I've looked again to buy another one. They are kind of big, so I opted against getting another one and they're kind of expensive. If you have a free roam space or you have cages that are like really big, I do really like this because it's so easy to clean and they're so like thick and durable. And I just put my U-Haul liners down and then I just take these like really old bath mats that are not this really plush fiber ones that I like to use in the cage. I just use these old ones and I just throw it in the bottom because I just take them out pretty much like every other day and replace it with a different one. And I find a spot in the free roam space, like I'll probably move this out and just switch it up with this instead. And I'll put this here and then I'll have Josh hand me the rack. Thank you. They don't really care about the plastic, but just for my own peace of mind, I like taking, again, a pillowcase for all the many ways I use a pillowcase. And I kind of just drape it over this entrance and just kind of make it a little softer entrance for them. But like people like Alexis, who are a little bit older and not so agile, you know, we like to have like a soft entrance and exit for them. So yeah, this is like my free roam litter space. Free roam litter space. This is how tired I am.
It's kind of a word.
Free roam.
That's a litter space.
Litter box that I put in this space.
It's my fault, huh?
It's kind of your fault, but I don't want to do the blame game, but that...
You're tired of looking bad on camera.
That...
Not bad, that's me.
Are you trying to tell me I look bad on camera right now? Wait, no, you what?
I'm bad with my words.
Yeah, me too.
You're tired of looking mean on camera. Because I always put in you talking schmack on me. Because I edit and you can't.
See, he's admitting that he's the irritant of most of these situations.
I want to be honest with how...
Oh my goodness, she's throwing her bowl. You get to chop veggies after this.
I do every night.
Because it's your job. Are we ready? So I just went ahead and set the room up the rest of the way really quickly while he was fidgeting with Shlomo and Slow-Mo, and I got really impatient. I just set the room up. So that does it for my free roam space tips. You know, it's always changing, just like my cages, changes every week. Honestly, the free room changes sort of daily depending on who I'm letting out, because like this can't stay here if I'm letting out Moira and Johnny, because this is where their door is. I'm losing my mind. So I'll like move that to a different spot and sort of change the tunnel system around to accommodate their entryway into their cage. But you get the gist. So I went over everything. We do have a new YouTube channel. It's called Guinea Pigs and Chill. It's basically just clips of guinea pigs to music. So if that's your kind of thing, check it out. It's my kind of thing, because I don't want to see my face or hear my voice. So that would be the channel I'm watching. The link will be in the description. Let me know if you guys have any tips that you'd like to share with me. I love hearing you guys' ideas. I love you guys. See you next week.